If you really don't trust me, come with a real. Here been a front, so you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Come with a dank, scrolling that tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping, I go to the hole with a rock like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
Welcome everybody to Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button. Appreciate you for joining. For Nick on the desk,
let's go.
We got Chase in Nick's spot, Chris in his regular spot, and I am Spencer. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. Easy is not in today because it is his son, Baby B's birthday today. So shout out, not Baby B anymore. Can't call him Baby B anymore. 5-year-old B.
5-year-old B.
50B. So shout out to our guy Bryson, man. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, little guy. I'm happy for you, nephew. Yeah, I'm not 3, I'm Bryson. You're not 5 now, you're Bryson.
Shout out B. Happy birthday and happy Halloween to everybody. This is a special episode. We got, ref or Coach Spenny. What do we got? Coach Spenny over here.
Coach. I went for I was going to laminate one of the traffic logs and use it like a play sheet. I was going to wear my gaming headset, but I was like, I don't want to carry that shit around. So I just got the whistle. I'm going for
tell me you got lazy.
70s high school coach vibes, not like professional coach. So, start chomping. And I should have a dip in too. But yeah, and Chase's Blues Clues. So same kind of approach as me. I appreciate it. I respect it. Just throw something on you would normally wear and add a little bit of something to it. You are
a cowboy without the hat.
A male prostitute.
Shout out, cowboy. Jesus.
And then we got Chris Platte. Just Chris.
And a broadcaster.
Yeah, he's a guy that would meet Elon Musk in an elevator. But we got a lot to talk about today. We got a lot of good segments coming up. We did a Halloween themed segment this is Nick's love child. I'm excited for it. I thought it was a great idea. We're going to be comparing Lions players to villains in the honor of Halloween and in honor of Brad Holmes the villain. So that'll be fun. I'm excited for that. I'm calling for a head in the first segment. Right at 5:14, calling for a head. Need some blood in the streets.
Oh yeah.
Need some blood in the streets. I'm talking about the Detroit Red Wings. I know Red Wings and blood mean something else, but this Red Wings team is dog shit right now. So we're going to get into that. We got a couple Pistons topics. We got some Adam Schefter stuff. But first things first, just last night, while people are still reeling in here, I know we're not going to talk about it a lot because people will tune out if we do. But I want to talk about it because I like baseball, and the World Series ended last night. Obviously, the Dodgers are victorious. Obviously, Freddie Freeman was named the Willie Mays MVP. Freddie Freeman is the new Mr. October.
Dog.
Like Reggie Jackson, appreciate everything you did, but Freddie Freeman is the new Mr. October. Like, seeing what he did in this series, seeing what he's done in his career. If you put the stats side by side, our guy Biggins sent that to me on Twitter.
Shout out Biggins.
He tweeted me that because I said, Mr. October, they are eerily similar. I'm going to find it real quick. But Freddie Freeman, Nick, just another masterful World Series from him.
Yeah, I've been a big Freddie Freeman guy for a long time, and to me, it was kind of disappointing to see him leave Atlanta because he meant so much to them. And and it was his agent, if I'm not mistaken, and obviously he was just out for the cash there. So I felt bad for him in that situation, but to see him put the team on his back in this situation, even though it is the Dodgers, which I hate, and I hate the Yankees, but this to me, I mean, obviously, it's two elite teams. Freddie Freeman deserves this, but to me, this is two elite teams at spending money to go out and get ultimately a championship. The Dodgers spent so much money. The Yankees spend so much money year in and year out, and they bought themselves a championship here and a chance to go get one. So I hope in the front office of the Detroit Tigers, when they watch that World Series, they saw a Shohei Ohtani. They saw a Mookie Betts. They saw a Yoshiba Yamamoto, who was a massive free agent pitcher. And they went out and got these superstar players because that's what you need to win championships. I want to see if that sparked anything in the Tigers front office.
Yeah, we talked about it a little on BDE, is that, like, that's what it's going to take. Like, there's a reason why the Detroit Tigers run was so miraculous, is because that doesn't happen in baseball. You're not going to win like that over an extended period of time. And the luck ran out for the Tigers. You look at the two teams, you have, I would say, 6 of the top 12 players in baseball in that series.
Yeah.
Like, it's just littered with star power, and that's what it's going to take. But these stats that Biggin sent to me on Twitter about Freddie Freeman being the new Mr. October, taking over Reggie Jackson's title. Reggie Jackson hit .278 with 78 hits, 18 homers, 48 RBIs, and 41 runs scored in 77 games in the month of October in his postseason career. Freddie Freeman is currently hitting .274 with 61 hits, 13 home runs, 33 RBIs, 30 runs scored in 60 games in the month of October in his postseason career. So, like, I'm not just saying that because what he did this series, it holds weight. It's actually becoming a thing. Like, if he has one more good October, he will be very close to Reggie Jackson's exact stats. And he is the new Mr. October. Freddie Freeman is that guy for our generation. He is the clutchest player I've seen in baseball in a long time.
Yeah, I don't see him slowing down anytime soon with the players he has around him, and him playing first base where he doesn't have to be too mobile, which actually he has been a little bit throughout his career, but he doesn't have to be. Freddie Freeman changed this whole entire series with a walk-off grand slam in Game 1.
For sure.
That changes the whole entire series if they don't win that first game. Freddie Freeman, shout out. I mean, yeah, what more can you say about the guy? I got a Dodgers fan that's an uncle that's a Dodgers fan, so I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
But honestly, these are two spoiled franchises.
They are. And Chris Castellani, just one more thing on Freddie Freeman before we move on. Chris Castellani put out a tweet yesterday. He said, Freddie Freeman's career, 2 times world champion, World Series MVP, career WAR over 60, 8-time All-Star, 3-time Silver Slugger, MVP, legitimate chance at 3,000 hits. He said, we're talking about one of the greatest first basemen of all time. And it's really true. You don't even think about it to that extent, but he has been so good for so long, now getting his 2nd World Series title, and they're probably going to be the favorites next year, especially if they sign Juan Soto.
Yeah, there's no way that Soto goes there. Come on.
You don't think so?
No, there's just no way.
Why not? Shohei deferred all his money.
True.
That $500 million contract isn't even on the books.
And I love how that whole Shohei beginning the scandal with the betting scandal just got swept under the rug
for sure.
all season long, like as if he didn't know what was going on. That's what the rich get richer.
The rich get
Spenny.
richer,
Yeah.
dude. Imagine that starting lineup. Like it would.
I don't want to.
It would go what? Shohei, Mookie, Freeman, Soto. Like
Will Smith.
Yeah, you got Will Smith. You still got Max Muncy. You got Teoscar Hernandez as well.
8, 9.
Yeah, dude. Kike Hernandez, just insane.
Yeah.
Speaking of Will Smith, I think it was JB who dropped a crazy stat on us earlier that Will Smith has won the World Series in like the last 5 years in a row.
Yeah, there's been a lot. There's been 2 Will Smiths I know in the MLB, and they've both been very fruitful in World Series championships.
The Will Smith from the Dodgers is like bookended in between. There was a dude I think who played for the Braves, Astros, Rangers.
Yeah,
I think those are the 3 in order who won.
Yeah,
the Dodgers.
Just crazy stuff. Baseball's so weird. Next up, shout out to our guy, Jared Goff.
Shout out.
Jared Goff, I mean, if there was any question about it, it's ended now because he won Offensive Player of the Month for the NFC in the month of October. No doubt. Like, are you kidding me? The guy was absolutely destroying things. His hat's so big. The guy was absolutely taking names, having perfect passing halves, perfect passing games. There was no doubt that Jared Goff was going to walk home with this award.
Yeah, and we learned from our mistakes from that Buccaneers game in September. You know, you don't ask Jared Goff to throw the ball 50 times in a ball game. You saw him be extremely efficient throughout this month of October, 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. You saw an elite quarterback under center for the Detroit Lions, who are not just the best team in the NFC, but the best team in the NFL.
Yes, it's very true.
Well deserved.
Chris, how you feel about Goff?
I mean, look, what more needs to be said? Like, we were talking about him as an MVP candidate, so I think Offensive Player of the Month tracks. Like,
yes.
it all adds up. 2 + 2 = 4 to me. So
especially when the other two guys are in the AFC.
Yeah, congratulations though for real. I'm glad to see that he is getting that recognition, because there was always that part of Goff that, you know, some players, some sectors of media, you know, were slower to give him his flowers, and obviously he's elevated his game, and I'm glad to see that people are not so stubborn and they are changing their opinions on him as he grows.
That's fair.
Yeah, definitely here. And I guess I'll get into this one because there was some big news out of Ann Arbor. As 4-star quarterback Carter Smith has decommitted from the University of Michigan after a bunch of reports come out that Michigan is heavily going to go after 5-star quarterback, best player in the nation, Bryce Underwood out of Belleville, Michigan. They're throwing the bag at this kid, Spenny, as you do in college football nowadays. And I saw people over Twitter, which I don't know if they're bots, but they sure as hell should be at this point, because they are attacking the University of Michigan for publicly going after a higher upside player in Bryce Underwood, a guy that is in your hometown state and in Belleville, which is less than an hour away from Ann Arbor. Bryce Underwood is being compared to a player in Vince Young.
Yeah.
You throw the absolute bag to not let this player get out of the state of Michigan. Carter Smith, thanks for your commitment on early, and, you know, good luck in the future. You do everything to go get Bryce Underwood, and if you can't, that is when you turn to the transfer portal, as you should have a year ago.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this is what actual colleges do. This is what superpowers in the NCAA do. If you have the 5-star #1 player in the nation in your backyard, you don't lose him. You go make sure he stays in Michigan, and you throw him a bunch of money. I'm surprised. I'll be surprised if they actually do it. I'll be surprised if Bryce Underwood is a Michigan Wolverine, based on I don't expect them to shell out the amount of money that these other teams can. I don't expect them to go bag for bag with LSU or Texas A&M or one of these, or Miami. Like, they easily can. They easily can, and there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to make sure Bryce Underwood is their quarterback, because they have the depth of pockets to do it. But I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, to me, there's no excuse not to at this point. If you are committed to Sharon Moore long-term, you don't have any allegations coming after your program anymore. Nothing comes down officially. Mm-hmm. And you just don't let a player of this, he can change your program for the next 3 years if you go out and get this kid. Yeah. Or he projects to. You never know with an 18-year-old kid, but he is the best bet. These high 5-star #1 players, you actually hit on them compared to these 4 stars, 3 stars that come around sometimes every now and then. Mm-hmm. You saw what J.J. McCarthy did to this program. He was a 5-star out of IMG after he transferred there. You talk about elite pedigree. That is Belleville high school quarterback Bryce Underwood. I think he'd be an absolute superstar in the maize and blue. And if you do everything you can in your power to get him, and in this case, it was at Carter Smith's expense with all of the public reports coming out. But he did what was best for him and Carter Smith in decommitting from the maize and blue.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to put this bluntly, but this is where this is where NCAA is at right now. Fuck Sharon Moore. Fuck all of that. Every single commitment and every single thing that you expect your franchise to be, your program to be going forward, you commit to Bryce Underwood.
Yeah.
You don't commit to Sharon Moore because he hasn't proven it to you.
True.
If you commit to a guy that's going to come in here that Bryce Underwood would like to play for. You don't commit. I'm not worried about scandals. You commit more scandals if it means Bryce Underwood will be your quarterback. That's what college football is. And you never heard me talking bad about Michigan because I said they won it. I said it every time. If I could sell my soul to win a national championship, I'd do it. So this is not something that you take lightly. You're swimming in the water. You know LSU is going to do whatever they can to get him in those doors. You know Miami or Texas A&M will do whatever they can to get him in those doors. The thing with Michigan is you do whatever you can to make sure he's your quarterback, and if that comes at the expense of Sherrone Moore, then that's what happens.
I'm getting all the rich donors. I'm getting everybody that said they would go out and get a quarterback. I think Portnoy was kind of exclusively on a transfer guy when he talked about that $3 million. So I think this is all donors behind closed doors that are going to go out and try to get this deal done. You want to play with the big dogs? You got to bring out the cash too and go out and get the best player in the nation that's in your backyard. Yeah. Go do it. Packed show for you guys today.
A lot coming up. We're gonna start off with some blood. We're gonna start off with some anger, but first, let me tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is fitness that fits your budget. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. More than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with a friendly, knowledgeable staff in a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? If you want the perks, you got to upgrade to the Black Card, get easy amenities like hydro massage, total body enhancement, and access to over 2,500 locations across the world. For more information or to join today, visit Planet Fitness or go to planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
With divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. 10 plus years of experience and 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code on the screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK Law will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they have your back.
Divorce. What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights. I'm Spencer Axter. He is Nicholas Kohloff. We're joined by Chase and Chris as well. Appreciate you all tapping in. Make sure you smash that like button. Easy is out because it is his son Bryson's birthday. So happy birthday to Bryson.
Shout out.
We got done talking about, a little bit of stuff here and there, some Halloween stuff, some World Series stuff. But we're going to start off hot, and we're going to start off with the Red Wings because this is really embarrassing what I'm seeing out of these Red Wings so far this season. They've won a couple games, here and there. They beat the Preds twice. They beat the Devils. You get punked by the Sabres. You get absolutely outclassed by the Rangers twice. And then the Jets come into town, and the Jets are playing well, but you give up 3 goals in the first period, and then the goal to start the third was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. And that goal itself is because you have dog shit on the blue line. And that's where I'm looking at Steve Yzerman. I'm not going to sit here and say Steve Yzerman is void of criticism or he is holier art unto thou. He is, obviously I know who Steve Yzerman is, but I can sit here and say, you didn't do enough to address the blue line. Gostisbehere was gone. You traded Wallman. You were all in on Trouba. Trouba doesn't happen. You can't do that. You need a backup plan because right now, outside of Mo Seider and Simon Edvinsson, you do not have an NHL defenseman on this roster. It is absolutely putrid play happening behind them. Ben Sherratt is good in stretches, but when he needs to be your third best defenseman, you are in trouble. Petrie, Mata, Hall. Mata's gone now, but Petrie, Hall, Gustafson, these guys are dog shit. Steve Yzerman did not do enough to address the blue line on this team, and it's showing. After Seider and Edvinsson come off the ice, there is nothing stopping people from walking into our zone. And on top of that, the offense has been pitiful. I know we've talked about the shot differentials and how teams are out shooting the Red Wings 2-1 damn near every night. It is embarrassing to watch them play offense. They fuck around and get scared before they go into the zone, don't take it fully in, or get one step in and then dump and chase. There is no reason, absolutely no reason, with the players they have offensively, that they should be running this mediocre of an offense. And that's where I look at Derek Lalonde. I'm done with it. I'm done. I need head on a spike at this point, because this year is the year that you should make the playoffs. You can't take a step back from last year. This offense has regressed into nothing with the players that you have. I understand a couple of them are old. I understand this, but they are still good players in the NHL. The offense has the talent to be good at least. You are terrible. The power play is terrible. Something is not working, and I am not on the board of just letting another year go, just wasting another season. You signed Patrick Kane to a one-year deal for a reason. He's here to try to make the playoffs. These guys are here to get into the playoffs, and what I'm seeing out there is just absolutely terrible. I am not holding anything from Stevie because, like I said, he didn't do enough to address the blue line, but what Derek Lalonde is doing with these guys, it's tough for me to watch. This is ugly, disgusting hockey. It's painful to sit there and watch this game. I don't like watching Wings games this year because they have the puck, they get into the zone, they dump it in the bag, somebody grabs it, they come out, they get one shot, and then they're out. And then the other team holds the puck in their zone like they're on a power play for 15 minutes. It is embarrassing. It is terrible hockey to watch, and I'm over it right now. I wanted to see Lalonde gone.
Let him cook. Welcome to the dark side, Spenny.
Yeah.
This was how I was feeling last year when we were going on that losing streak. I just didn't see enough out of these Red Wings. And to be honest, I thought they were going to start this season with a chip on their shoulder.
You would think so.
This team plays extremely slow.
Yeah.
They look old out there. They don't. Lucas Raymond doesn't look like an ascending superstar. This guy has 1 goal in 10 games. After getting paid, that is 100% unacceptable. I don't know what he's doing, but as much as I want to crap on Lalonde here and say I want to call for his job, Chris, do you want to in Slack right there?
Yeah.
Lalonde's my buddy, so I don't know if I want to just go over this Lalonde talk here. But to me, this is about the players. And the players in this system, 2 guys I want to highlight right here is Shane Gostisbehere, who we let walk.
Let him walk.
He was very good on the power play last year. $9.6 million, 3 years. We couldn't afford that, allegedly, or Stevie thought we'd be better without him. Jake Wallman, traded him for a bag of chips. 3 years, $10.2 million.
Dumped his salary. He's got 8 points with +2 on the year so far. Shane Gostisbehere has 7. I think those 2 players, you just completely downgraded your defensive line by moving off of them for nothing. And you are making this team who needs playoff experience. For these young players, they're going downhill. They're going the wrong direction. In year 6 of Steve Yzerman, I thought we would be talking about a Stanley Cup contender right now, not a team that is going downhill, talking about missing the playoffs again. Yeah.
Where are the expectations? I know the Steve bots will come after me because you're not allowed to criticize him in this town. But how much time is enough time that goes by where you can actually think about what Stevie's doing here? What number 1 center has he gone out on a limb and traded for? Or gone out and tried to draft that number 1 center? Kasper's not it. Danielson's not it. You obviously go out and get Raymond, who's supposed to be an ascending superstar, but he's not right now. Like, where are we getting that absolute superstar?
All right, I'm not ready to trash his drafting ability because he has produced. I think Kasper is going to be a guy. I can see Danielson being the number 1 center on this team. It's just not going to happen right now. He is still a young guy. I like the draft picks that Stevie has made. And like, if you freed up these spots on the defensive line, or on the blue line, to bring in a Wallander, to bring him up, to bring up an ASP, I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with losing Wallman if you're bringing up ASP and giving him time. You brought in Gustafson, who sucks.
Blows.
You still have Hall and Petrie. Jeff Petrie should not play in the NHL. He is bad at hockey. Like, these guys you're giving room are objectively worse than what you had. You did not replace them. He went all in on Jacob Trouba. He did not get him, and he had no backup plan. So now the defense is objectively worse than it was last year, and last year it sucked. So I need to see at least the young guys coming up. I don't want to see more minutes out of Hall. I don't want to see more minutes out of Petrie. Bring up Wallander and put him out there. Like, I'm done with it. The defense was an absolute shit can by Steve Yzerman. It was terrible what he did to this defensive core from last year, and it was bad last year. But the way they're playing offensively and the way they try to get into the zone, I put 100% on Derek Lalonde. And that is not helping your worst defense. When you have an offense that can't keep the puck in the zone, dumps and chases and turns it over and only gets one shot on net, that's not going to help these guys behind them when they got to play in their own zone for 10 minutes every period. It's bad.
Yeah, this has been such a disappointing start to the season. And to be honest, I didn't see it coming. And like you just said there, if you are going to get rid of a Wallman, of a Ghost, you have to give the young guys a shot.
Or replace them with somebody competent.
You literally... Stevie Y is the guy who brought in Hall, Petrie, and even Sherrod at this point. Like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
Like, the third period last night, I just wanted to,
throw
the remote at the TV.
It was so embarrassing.
You come back in this game, you get it down to 3-2. Boom, 4-2, start of the third. Game unravels again. In the games that they did win, they're getting outshot by 20 goddamn shots.
Yeah.
Like, they're lucky to win those games. Mm-hmm. Their record should be worse than what it is right now. I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel right now, but I do believe, like you said, they need to shake something up. And if it is getting rid of Newsy, I'm okay with it right now.
Yeah.
But they also have to look themselves in the mirror and say, if we are going to go the young direction, let's do it. But I have not seen Stevie take risks in the offseason to go out and get elite talent. The one time he did, he went out and got DeBrincat. And what did we do? We almost made the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I thought he kind of backtracked in this offseason when he should have taken a step forward, got aggressive. He did not want to do that. And I think you're looking at it right now.
He's kind of clutching his pearls at this point. I know he wants to keep the young guys. He likes the young guys he has. But you have so many guys that you could trade to get someone. Like, I don't know. Like I said, he was all in on Jacob Trouba. He wanted Trouba. He tried to get Trouba. It was there. It's just his wife. It sucks to say that. His wife.
He has a wife. He has a wife.
Leave it to a woman to ruin the Red Wings' good time. No. But it's... That's something Steve Yzerman should have been aware of, and he should have had a backup plan if the Trouba thing was unsuccessful. But we'll see. We're going to go to break.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we're talking Lions. Adam Schefter had some words about the Detroit Lions and their trade situation. We're going to talk about that coming up. But first, Chase, tell us about Feldman.
With 18 locations, there's a Feldman Automotive dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the nearest location to you. Since 1996, Feldman Auto has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience. It's called the Feldman Advantage. Catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
From Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Hey, Detroit, on game day, wake up with Woodward in Maine, your source for all the insider information on the defending NFC North champions, your Detroit Lions, with insights from Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster and rising media star Matt Broder. Get ready, Detroit, every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m., Woodward and Maine, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller, your local long drink, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Also, we have the New Holland Brewing Company pregame show. It's the New Holland Brewing pregame show every game day. Neil Rule and Sean Belizean bring you the best Lions pregame show Sunday, 10 a.m. to noon on Woodward Sports, live at Second Best Bar in Detroit. The latest injury reports, fantasy sit and starts, and the inside scoop on your Detroit Lions. Join us every Sunday. Home games live at Second Best Bar in Detroit, your official guide to Lions game day on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller, your local long drink, Sabbath Coffee, Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, and Les Stanford Chevrolet.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button for Nick, for Chase, for Chris. I am Spencer. We are the Heavyweights. We just got done talking about the Detroit Red Wings.
That felt good.
Detroit Red Wings. We're going to talk about the Pistons later. I saw some people talking about DNC ENT says no Jaden Ivey / Tobias Harris apologies. No, you don't get apologies after your first win of the game. Or first win of the season, and Tobias Harris doesn't get an apology after having one good half. We'll talk about the Pistons win later, though. We are going to talk about that. But now let's talk about the hottest team in the city, the best team in the city, and it's not even close, the Detroit Lions.
Some winners.
Some winners, and somebody who's tapped in around the league, known to be tapped in around the league, probably the most tapped in out of anybody around the league. Adam Schefter was on Get Up today, and he talked about the Detroit Lions making a move at the trade deadline, bringing in a pass rusher. He said how he expects it to happen.
Oh, yeah.
He says how he can't fathom a team being so close and so good and not giving up what he said a third-day pick to go out and bring in a pass rusher to keep them idly by until Aiden Hutchinson comes back. Players he brought up were Azeez Ojulari and Zadarius Smith. These are two guys that Detroit Lions fans have been talking about. These are two guys that are in that middle tier of pass rushers that the Lions fans have been talking about. Nick, first of all, shout out Shefty. He knows ball. He knows what he's talking about. I expect the Detroit Lions to make a move. I've been saying that the whole time. We talked about Max Crosby and Myles Garrett and all that good stuff, but we always said that was a pipe dream.
Yep.
Would you be happy if you brought in Ojulari or Zadarius Smith?
If it was one of them, I'd say, all right, at least we're not, sitting on our hands here and not making any moves when the defensive player of the year at the time got injured for the season.
Yes.
You saw a team in Minnesota, their left tackle goes out for the year. What'd they do? Immediately go out and get a left tackle to replace him. I'm extremely curious about Azeez Ojulari because this dude has been on a hot streak.
Yes, he has.
He has 6 sacks now in 8 games. You already have Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau in New York. Mm-hmm. This guy's due up a contract next season. So at the end of this year, he's an unrestricted free agent. So you're talking about a rental. You're talking about a pick that probably wouldn't be too expensive when you're only getting him for half of a season. That intrigues me more than the vet in Zadarius Smith. How about you, Spenny?
I 100% agree with you. When I look at Ojulari, this is a guy that would be coming in here trying to do everything he can to get the biggest payday possible next year. And it doesn't have to be from the Detroit Lions.
Yep.
You could kill two birds with one stone in this. You could do one of those trades, whether it's a 5th or 4th round pick, and put the stipulation on it to, like, if we make the Super Bowl, then it's a better pick.
Okay, I like that.
And have that in there. And then on top of that, if Ojulari does go out there and signs a massive contract from another team in the offseason, you get that pick right back. You will get that pick right back in compensation. I think that is a move. Again, I don't think that should be the only move. Obviously, I would love Trey Hendrickson and those guys.
Yep.
But between these two, which Adam Schefter mentioned that he thinks the Detroit Lions will and should trade for somebody, Ojulari makes the more sense to me because he's hungry. He's ready to go prove to people that he can be a top flight edge rusher.
Yep.
You can go do that on the big stage with the best team in the NFL, win a Super Bowl, and then get paid from somebody else. I think it's a no-brainer if you are in talks with the Giants to go get him.
Yeah, and I think this is the type of guy you bring in where he will go out and get the quarterback. Just flat out.
Yes.
He's going to go get the job done. But when talking about Ojulari and you talk about the stipulations there, if you have to give a third rounder, and we don't have our 2025 third rounder, so in 2026, to go out for half a season, would you give up a third rounder for this kind of high upside potential, but it's only for half a season, knowing you could get that back if he leaves for free agency?
Yes, I absolutely would. I would frame it as a 4th rounder, but if you make the Super Bowl, it becomes a 3rd rounder, like that kind of deal. But yes, I absolutely would. A 3rd round pick is worth the Super Bowl to me. And if you get a guy that will, the guy who leads this team in sacks cannot be on the team right now, and you need to have a guy in double-digit sacks. He would solve both of those. You go get him. I'm confident that this team will win the Super Bowl. I would do that for a 3rd rounder in a heartbeat.
So the Giants GM calls, and he goes, well, we got the Bears on the other line for a 3rd rounder that's projected to be better than yours.
Yeah.
Would you do a 3rd that could turn into a 2? How high are you willing to go for Ojulari?
No, I would not do a 3rd that would turn into a 2.
Too high?
Too high.
For half a season?
A 2 is too high, yeah. I would do a 3rd. 3rd is the highest I would go. Because I would tell them, go ahead, trade him to the Bears then.
Yep. That's steep, and that's why I kind of wanted to get it in division there. But speaking of the other player that we brought up, the proven veteran in Zadarius Smith.
Yeah.
Played alongside Myles Garrett for now 2 years. What do you think Zadarius Smith actually brings to this team as the 32-year-old proven vet? Can he be that difference maker if it is just bringing in Zadarius Smith?
I think he can be a difference maker. Again, either of these guys, I would want multiple players. I don't think either of these guys are just the one and dones. But if you just get Zadarius Smith, he's automatically your best pass rusher. He is a good 3-down defensive end. He can play in the run a little bit too, and he's good enough and crafty enough to beat one-on-ones. And you know DJ Reader and Ali McNeil are going to be seeing double teams, so he's going to get some one-on-ones. He's not going to get the Hutchinson treatment just because he's on the Lions. So he's going to see some favorable matchups. I would love that too. I would love Zadarius Smith on this team.
Yeah, I would really like this, and I would think it would take like a 4th, maybe a 7th added onto that to go out and get Zadarius Smith, because your 4th rounder is not as good as other teams' 4th rounders because you're projected to be in that Final 4, and other teams around the NFL know that. But one thing specifically about Zadarius Smith that I do like is that he played for Green Bay and Minnesota. I like that because he knows these NFC North matchups. He has played for those teams.
Yeah.
And those other teams let him walk. He has something to prove against Green Bay when he goes up against them. Mm-hmm. Something to prove against Minnesota when he goes up against them. And let's not forget that this is the best division in football right now. And you might have to play those teams a 3rd time in the playoffs. So to have a proven vet who has 5 sacks on the year in Zadarius Smith, I am more than willing to give up a 4th and a 7th. When you're talking about some depth guy that might play on special teams, that's what you're giving up for a key contributor to a Super Bowl. I'm doing that every day of the week.
Yeah.
Zadarius Smith, you, sir, are a Detroit Lion.
Absolutely. You know, you got to do it at this point. You've got to bring somebody in. And like Shefty said when he was talking on Get Up, is there is absolutely no reason for them to hold on to a second or third day pick and not win a Super Bowl because of it. Like, there's no reason a team that is this close would hold on to a midday pick and just be like, okay, no, we're fine. Especially Josh Pascal, again, not practiced today.
Yikes.
You don't know what's going on there. Is the sickness worse? Is he all right? Is he going to play? But even if he plays, that's all you got. If you have one more injury, God forbid, on that defensive line, you're done. You're cooked.
Yeah.
So you already had 4 guys who would be rotational pieces at worst to defensive player of the year at best. All of them gone. All of them done for the year. You need to get some depth there. You need to get some impact pieces. And I think they will. I truly believe they will.
If they only go out and get Smith for this team for that 4th and a 7th, do you believe that is enough to still win the Super Bowl and beat one of those super teams in the AFC, whether it's Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, whether it's Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs? Is going out and getting a Zadarius Smith enough for you? And would you be happy on that Wednesday after the trade deadline?
I would be happy, and I do think it would be enough personally. Not to stamp it, guarantee, but he would make a play or two in that game because that's the player he is. And that's all you would need out of him at that point, because the way the secondary is playing and how they're picking off balls and the way the offense is humming, you would just need a play or two that could possibly spring the game. So that would be, obviously I would want 2 more just to have a better feeling and have more guys that can get to the quarterback. But if it was just one of them, I wouldn't stamp my guarantee on the Super Bowl, but I would be obviously a lot happier than I am now.
Yeah, agreed there. I think there's no doubt that Brad doesn't go out and make a move. I think he will. If it is Smith and Ojulari, I'm going to be extremely happy come the day after the trade deadline. This team, is already the NFC favorite, but I think it does get up there in the same numbers as Kansas City as the Super Bowl favorite.
If you're just getting one guy, it's got to be a guy.
Yeah.
It's got to be Trey Hendrickson, like a guy that can get you 15.5 sacks if you're just getting one guy.
Yeah.
You can get 2 10-sack guys. That would be perfect.
Yeah, to me, I think if you can go out and get Trey Hendrickson for a first-round pick right now. I know we didn't bring him up because Schefter didn't bring him up within his report, because I think the Bengals still might believe that they're contending, even though they shouldn't. But, when you have Joe Burrow, anything's possible. If they can trade a first for Trey Hendrickson, I would do it in a heartbeat.
I would do that right now. Yes, I would do that.
Because then you have him next year to pair with Hutch. You're talking about a guy that's top 5 in sacks the last 3 seasons in Trey Hendrickson. To pair that with an elite guy already in Aiden Hutchinson next year, sky's the limit for this team.
Then he leaves, and he gets paid $20 million a year after next year, and you get a draft pick back.
3rd rounder. Come on home.
Yeah, I would do that for sure.
Yeah.
Trey Hendrickson would be my,
pipe dream.
Somewhat realistic pipe dream. Yeah, because obviously the pipe dream is Max Crosby or Myles Garrett, but Trey Hendrickson has a real possibility of happening. Yeah. Let's go to break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about our guys that we got right now, because it's the middle of the season.
Yep.
Week 9, right in the middle. We're going to give out some awards to the Lions, but first let me tell you about Sabbath Coffee. Fuel your Lions fandom with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you are gearing up for a big game or savoring a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to SabbathCoffeeRoasters.com. Choose your favorite roast. Use code word Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake, unwind, support local, and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters.
Countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
How would you like to win free bud for a year?
Would I?
I would love to. That's right. Free smoke, weed, reefer, flower, however you refer to your favorite cannabis product. It's your chance to win free cannabis for a year, compliments of Dispo Dispensary. All you have to do is scan the QR code on the screen, sign up, and you'll be entered for a chance to win. Don't miss out on this insane giveaway. Sign up today to elevate your game. Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug. You must be 21 years old or older to enter. Terms and conditions apply.
They sure do apply. What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live here on Woodward Sports. For Nick Kohloff, for Chase Anley, for Chris Platte, I am Spencer Axter. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. Make sure you smash that like button. We just got done talking about the Detroit Lions. Will they not make a trade at the deadline? We're going to stick with the Lions.
Oh, yeah.
But it's the middle of the NFL season. Right in the middle, smack dab, week 19. We're going to look at some of the Detroit Lions and where they would rank if the season ended today.
Okay. I like this.
PFF put out their midseason awards when you're looking at all-pros, stuff like that. And there were some Lions sprinkled on there. I'm going to give a name, then you give a name, then I'll give a name. We'll talk about where we think they're going to be. I'll start off hot. I'll start off with the guy, Jared Goff. Jared Goff, I'm going to say right now, if the season ended, is an all-pro. Jared Goff is. I know you got 2 guys ahead of him that are playing lights out in Lamar Jackson and in Josh Allen. I don't care. Jared Goff is playing at an all-pro level. He would be an all-pro if the season ended. Give me Jared Goff as an all-pro.
I think the flash factory might take a little away from it. Just because he's not that runner. He's not making those superstar level type throwing on the run outside of the pocket.
He's offensive player of the month.
True that. About damn time they give him some recognition. Do you think the pundits would actually go out, the national media, and give this guy an all-pro recognition?
If those schmucks can give Matt Ryan an MVP, then Jared Goff is an all-pro.
Let's go.
Flat out.
Heard it here first from Spenny.
Flat out.
I like that a lot. So this player, I want to go to the offensive line that protects Jared Goff. Is there any question that first-team all-pro is going to be written next to Penei Sewell's name for a second straight year?
There is absolutely no question.
Is he the best offensive lineman in the NFL?
I'll one-up you on that, Nick. Penei Sewell is the best player in the NFL.
Oh!
I don't care if you're Patrick Mahomes. I don't care if you're Lamar Jackson, if you're Justin Jefferson. Penei Sewell is the best player in the NFL. If there was an offensive lineman MVP award, he would win it. Penei Sewell, no doubt, all-pro first team.
I'm backing you. This guy opens everything up for this offense when it comes to the run game, pass game. Goff trusts him. He can step up in the pocket. He knows no pressure's coming from that right side. Let's go, Penei Sewell. I'm with you on that one. Who you got next here, Spenny?
Next up. Hurts me to do it. It really does. But it's crazy that he still would be a first-team All-Pro, Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson, after the injury to where we are right now, he is still one of the best defensive players in the NFL. He would be a first-team All-Pro if the season ended today. It's crazy. That's how good of a season he was having.
To think,
God, it hurts.
You're gonna make me cry here, Spenny. To think that we could be adding right now to this defensive line with Aiden Hutchinson, you'd be talking about a top 6 defense, maybe top 5. And now we're talking about replacing this guy. He was absolutely dynamic. The best defensive player I've seen play for the Detroit Lions. He was having that stretch in my lifetime. That's how good Aiden Hutchinson was to start this season.
Yeah.
Get back soon, Hutch. They showed him on the big screen in that Tennessee Titan game with his family around him, his leg hung up in the cast. He would have been, without a doubt, not just an All-Pro, but the Defensive Player of the Year. But speaking of an All-Pro,
he could have been MVP.
For real, he might have set the sack record.
If he had 24 sacks, 25 sacks on the year, he would have been the MVP of the NFL.
I have no doubt in that. But speaking of a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, I'm talking about the B2 Bomber. I'm talking about one of the best defensive players in the NFL right now, and for sure a leader in this secondary for the Detroit Lions. Is there any doubt in your mind that Brian Branch gets first team All-Pro honors this year?
You better fucking believe Brian Branch is going to be a first team All-Pro. The two best safeties in the league both reside in Detroit.
Let's go.
Unfortunately, Kirby, if it stopped right now, would not be a first team All-Pro. But Brian Branch, what he's doing is absolutely insane. He's defending passes at an insane level. He's intercepting the ball. He's forcing fumbles. He's making plays everywhere. Brian Branch is taking over for the possible Lions Defensive Player of the Year talk after Hutch goes down. Yes, Brian Branch, All-Pro for sure.
With the numbers that he's putting up, Spenny, is it too crazy to think that he could actually win Defensive Player of the Year if he keeps up this pace, which is unreal. It's unreal to think about. But this dude's projected like over 25 passes defended.
Yeah.
We're talking just above like 15 picks, which I don't think he'll get to that number. But you're talking about unreal numbers.
Unreal numbers, yeah. He would definitely be in there if he kept this up. What's up, Chase?
He'd be just the 5th safety ever to win the award.
The 5th safety ever. I mean, it would take a season like this to do it.
Yeah, he's playing at an unreal spot. And I wanted to ask you just a quick question on Brian Branch. Is he the best pick under the Brad Holmes draft picks? Is he the best pick under Brad Holmes?
No, it's still Penei Sewell.
But Penei kind of fell in your lap there.
He did. I mean, so did Brian Branch.
You could argue even more so.
But he traded up for him.
He did trade up for him. But Penei Sewell is still... When you draft the best player in the NFL, that's the best pick.
Yeah,
even if it was a no-doubter, I would say like Amon-Ra St. Brown would be the best pick that he made value-wise. Yeah, but Brian Brandt's definitely in the conversation.
Yeah.
Moving on, and I'm just going to put it here. We're not doing like first, second, third team All-Pro. We're just doing All-Pros, Pro Bowlers, and snubs. This is a guy... Because that PFF just did All-Pro. It was just one team. All-Pro, one team. It wasn't first, second, third team. Kirby Joseph. Unfortunately, as much as I love Kirby Joseph, as much as I love what he's doing, I believe he would be on the Pro Bowl era. Because I think the two safeties who would make All-Pro would be Brian Branch and Xavier McKinney. Because Xavier, like, we love what Kirby Joseph is doing. I love Kirby Joseph. Xavier McKinney's doing the same exact thing in Green Bay, and he's got him by an interception. It's tough for me to say it, how much I love Kirby Joseph, but right now, like I said, just based on the way that PFF did it, where it was one All-Pro team on both sides of the ball, the two safety spots, I believe, would be Brian Branch and Xavier McKinney. So Kirby, I'm putting in Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I can see it for just right now, though. I think
I wouldn't be surprised if he jumped him.
Especially if they go out and get a pass rusher. Like, you're talking about every single game, Kirby and Brian are making plays on the ball, passes defended, interceptions. That's why you've seen this defense still be good. It's because they're taking the ball away from these quarterbacks. But I still would like to see him go out and get the pass rusher, because the quarterbacks that we're talking about is a Sam Darnold, talking about a Will Levis. We're not talking about the elite guys that are in the NFC and in the NFL. I'm really excited to see what Kirby Joseph does against these Packers. We know he loves playing out in Lambeau.
Jordan Love throws it away a lot.
Did they announce Jordan Love starting yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
He's been practicing.
Yeah, he's been throwing the ball away more than any other quarterback in the NFL. I'm going to sit in this chair and trash that guy, Jordan Damn Love, the most overhyped quarterback in the whole entire NFL this offseason. They were saying he's Aaron Rodgers. They were saying he's the next Brett Favre. This guy's throwing
exactly
the
like
most.
Brett Favre.
He's throwing the most picks so far.
And he's also got 16 touchdowns or 15 touchdowns, whatever it is. So
Whatever it is.
he's literally having a Brett Favre season.
He's leading the league in interceptions, and I know that. So all the Green Bay fans choke on that one. But speaking of going from interceptions, I want to go to running backs here. They're not on this list, but I want to ask your opinion on Jahmyr Gibbs. Do you think he has potential to land on all-pro honors, even with a guy like Derrick Henry doing what he's doing, and a guy like Saquon having the year he has?
Do they do 2 running back All-Pros? If they do 2 running back All-Pros, then yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs should be on there. Unfortunately, based on the split share of their carries, and if there's only one, no, it's Derrick Henry. But if there's 2, you can make an argument for Gibbs, and I would put Gibbs there right now just because of the amount of like I said, Saquon's getting all the carries in Philly. You know, Gibbs is splitting the backfield almost evenly with David Montgomery. So, no, I think because they split the load, you'd have to give the all-pro or the players that would have the all-pro numbers. Derrick Henry for sure locked in. Saquon probably going to be up there, but Pro Bowler for sure.
Yeah, Pro Bowler for sure. I think David Montgomery is also locked in for a Pro Bowl spot. These running backs are unstoppable, and you're about to see it in Green Bay, especially if this weather is still projected to be rain. We're rushing the ball at least 35 times in the game. You can count on that.
Yeah. I did just put $100 on Lions minus 5.5. Alternate spread, Lions minus 5.5.
Alt spread?
It was plus 143. I put 100 schmeckles on it.
100 schmeckles. Feeling good about the matchup in Green.
2 units.
Yeah, 2 unit. Big baller over here. 50 unit.
50 unit. I've been doing very well for myself this football season. But that'll do it for our all pros, Pro Bowlers. No snubs. The snubs, I put Jack Campbell, DJ Reader. I feel like those guys are playing at a Pro Bowl level, but they have guys playing over them.
I feel like we saw it last year with the San Francisco 49ers. If your team has an elite record and you're the first team in your conference record-wise, you will get more looks for all pros and Pro Bowlers. It's just, what comes with the territory of being that great team. So if this Lions team can finish number 1 in the NFC, I think you will see a lot more players get recognition. A guy like Khalif Raymond might get a recognition again.
He's going to be a Pro Bowler for sure. That's a good one.
Absolute weapon. Yeah. Just like Jack Fox, the punter. Let's go, both of them.
Lock them in. And Jake Bates. Why not Jake Bates, too?
Right. Just missed one extra point. Yeah. That's it.
Hasn't missed a field goal, so we'll see. Oh, I want to knock on wood for that.
It's like sure. Chris and his fumble.
Yeah, this motherfucker, Chris. All right, we're gonna go to break.
It didn't happen on my watch.
It did.
It only did because you guys didn't fucking believe. If you guys would have believed in me,
it was your fault. If you never brought it up, it wouldn't have happened.
If you would have shut your mouth, it wouldn't have happened.
If you didn't bring it up, it wouldn't have happened. So it's on you. Let's go to break. We're gonna talk about Lions. We're gonna do some villain comparisons in honor of Halloween, in honor of Brad Holmes being the villain. We got some villains to compare to our Lions. But first, let me tell you about Lady Jane's. Because awesome is when you can get a great haircut and feel like the man. Lady Jane's will do it for you. Scan that QR code in the corner and get a $20 haircut coupon. It comes with a hot leather neck shave, scalp massage, hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Just call in ahead if you want to make an appointment. If not, walk in. The doors will be open. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
And you want to know where the best pregame Lions party is? Join us now at Detroit's very own second best bar, located at 42 Watson Street for the ultimate fan experience. Enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching Woodward Sports pregame show only at Second Best Bar. Come get some.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. sports. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
You and I pay our bills. Unlike my opponent, Dave Coulter, I won't take advantage of my job because I work for you. I'm Nick Jonai, and by the way, I do pay my water bills on time, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Nick Jonai for Oakland County.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Have you ever thought about volunteering but don't know where to start?
Whoa.
Start with the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign. Visit registertoring.com to sign up for shifts. You'll have an option to choose a 2-hour session at a physical Red Kettle site or participate in virtual bell ringing shift to raise funds from the comfort of your own home. Virtual bell ringers can sign up and begin raising funds at any time. Traditional bell ringers begins Friday, November 7th and runs through Christmas Eve, excluding Thanksgiving and Sundays. To sign up for volunteer shifts, visit registertoring.com. Ring them bells.
Ring them bells. Ring ding dong.
Ding,
Ring,
ding,
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 ding
dong.
dong. Shout out to everybody for joining us. Make sure you smash that like button. For Nick on the desk,
Let's
because
go.
Easy is celebrating with his son.
Happy birthday.
It is
Happy
young Bryson's birthday.
Happy Halloween.
Can't call him Baby B anymore. It is Young B now.
Lil B.
Lil B. We got Chase in the audio booth, Chris in the TD booth. I'm Spencer Exter, and I just saw this. After I said Kirby Joseph wouldn't be an All-Pro if the season ended right now, it would be Xavier McKinney over him. My phone, the robot is listening to me, and I see this graphic. Among all safeties to be targeted 15-plus times in coverage this season, Kirby Joseph ranks first in passer rating allowed at 22.5%, first in completion percentage allowed in 41.2%, and first in interception/target rate at 29.4%. So, I'm sorry, Kirby. You are an All-Pro. Fuck Xavier McKinney. All right, so let's go. Let's do something now. This is fun.
Let's go.
This is Nick's brainchild. I'm excited to do this.
Let's go.
In honor of Halloween, in honor of Brad Holmes, we're going to be comparing Lions to villains. So villains, movie villains, TV show villains, someone you would dress up as for Halloween. And we know the Lions are the villains on the league.
Shout out Brad.
I'll go first. We'll go Kanye, Jay-Z, back and forth kind of thing.
All right.
Chris, take any one of mine and just throw it up there for me.
All right, let's start with the guy we just spent a lot of time talking about.
Let's talk about, there it is, Kirby Joseph. I got Kirby Joseph up there with Swiper the Fox. Because Kirby Joseph, not only does he have drip, Swiper's got drip, by the way. Like, look at that. Man's always got the gloves matching the bandana. Kirby Joseph is the most elite thief in the NFL. And before you say Kirby no swiping, before you get the third one out, he's already gone with the ball.
Let's go.
Kirby Joseph is the most elite taker-awayer of the football in the NFL.
I mean, that's just an elite comparison right there. I was going the other way. I don't know if you saw any of the pictures I
did
threw
not.
in there.
I haven't seen any of yours.
Oh, my God. I give it an A+, Spenny. You nailed the presentation here. Swiper, no swiper, Kirby Joseph. Absolute dog. All he does is steal footballs. Love that one. Chris, we're going to go the complete opposite from Dora the Explorer here. We're going to start with...
Which one you want to start with?
We're going to start with Ghostface.
Ghostface.
A.K.A. the villain in Scream.
Ghostface Killer.
Yep, the Ghostface Killer.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Okay.
So we got a new age slasher film back in the 90s. Nope, it was a new age slasher back in the 90s because this dude does not care about old movies. He does not walk slow towards you. He will sprint at you as fast as he can and he will slash through and cut you up in any way imaginable. This dude's versatile because it's not just one person. He'll beat you in multiple ways.
I like it.
Jahmyr Gibbs is absolutely Scream, a.k.a. the Ghostface slasher. He'll cut you up in any way possible. Jahmyr Gibbs is... that's what I got.
That's a really good one. The slasher, he slashes down the field. We saw him slashing in the past couple games. That was a really good one. I like that one a lot, Nick. All right, throw another one up for me. Chrissy,
do you want to just do...
Chrissy, baby.
Do you want to just follow that?
Yeah, okay, yeah. I did Gibbs as well.
All right,
and I have a different interpretation of Jahmyr Gibbs. So I put Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man.
The electrician.
We've called Jahmyr Gibbs the electrician. The dude is legitimate bottled lightning on the field. When he touches the ball, he can explode and go to the house at any time. We saw it with the 70-yard touchdown run last week. Jahmyr Gibbs is the personification of electricity in the NFL, and that's why I put Electro up there with him. I think he's just electric when he touches the ball. The electrician, some might say.
The electrician. Fire on that one. Obviously, throwing the nickname in there to go with it.
Yes.
It's fire. Talking about fire, this guy burnt in one. His name is Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's a good one.
He haunts players at every position when he gives them nightmares before the game. He makes quarterbacks second guess themselves when they're awake, or are they dreaming? Running backs, they have space and boom, down to the ground. Receivers hear footsteps like their hallucinations. Freddy Krueger is Brian Branch, baby. He gives people nightmares every single day. This guy will have a offensive coordinator not sleeping at night like an insomniac. Let's go. Brian Branch is Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street.
I like it. That's a good one. He's giving quarterbacks some nightmares, and that's for sure.
Nightmare.
Not only quarterbacks, but you got to think offensive coordinators also. They stay up at night thinking about Freddy Krueger and Brian Branch. That's a good one, Nick. All right.
Shout out.
Who do we got next, Chris? Throw it up there for me.
All right. Let's switch it up a little bit.
Okay, here we go. I got Penny Sewell and Darkseid from DC. If you're not a fan, if you don't know, now you know. Darkseid is him. He is him when it comes to DC. He is the one that beats all. He dog walks Superman. He dog walks the Justice League. Darkseid will take your whole team by himself. That is Penny Sewell. He is the elite one. He is the equalizer. He will make sure he is the last man standing on the battlefield.
Is he like Apocalypse to X-Men?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
X-Men Apocalypse?
Yeah.
That's what okay.
He kind of. I mean,
like comparable. I was asking.
He's comparable to Apocalypse for sure.
I've seen that movie. Let's go. All right. I do like that one. DC
Penny is
shout
Thanos,
out.
says Caden Kreider.
Yeah.
Darkseid makes Thanos look like a bitch. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. Darkseid wipes his ass with Thanos. I was thinking about doing Thanos at first because that's true, but Darkseid is way cooler and way more of a badass than Thanos.
All right, here we go. We're going to go to Camp Crystal Lake, where Jason resides. He will haunt defensive lines and linebackers because he doesn't have to beat you with speed. He just powers through every single obstacle you throw in front of him. He's slept on and extremely underrated. It is the camper himself, Boy Scout himself, David Montgomery. Don't sleep on David Montgomery. This guy, he will not beat you with straight line speed. He will run through you. He will go through any obstacle you want. David Montgomery, the Boy Scout himself. I'm sure he's been camping many times. David Montgomery is my Jason.
I like it. I like
Friday the 13th.
Throw up my David Montgomery as well, Chris. I got one for David Montgomery that's a little different.
This is interesting.
David Montgomery and the Juggernaut. Because don't you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. When David Montgomery gets a running start, you are not going to stop him. You will bounce off of him per Devon Witherspoon. David Montgomery is the juggernaut. If he gets a running start, he will not be stopped. He will run through tackles. He will run through defensive linemen. He will run through anybody, and he will break through the plane of the end zone to get a touchdown. David Montgomery is a force that cannot be stopped when he gets into motion. He is the juggernaut.
Let's go. I absolutely love that one. D-Mont, I mean, we're describing the same things here. You just cannot slow this guy down. You said you want to cut up?
Let's. We got a couple more, so let's split it in half.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go to break. We got a couple more. I got a really good one.
I got two. I'm excited about.
Tell us about 1800, Chris.
1800 Tequila is the smoothest tequila in the game. It is a proud partner of the Detroit Lions and Woodward Sports. Lions watch parties live every Lions game at Hay Social in Shelby Township. Make sure you also get that new Detroit Lions signature 1800 Tequila Blanco bottle. It looks incredible. Tune in to every single live stream. And please, when you're drinking it, please drink responsibly.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's '1 Chevy dealer.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza now has signature wings. They're delicious. My favorite is the spicy garlic, but you can try them all for yourself and choose your own favorite. Limited time offer though, so get them while you can. Shout out to Pete. Hit a big parlay last night and bought a bunch of Soroki's for the boys. Because it's not just wings. They got pizza, they got chicken, they got tenders, mac and cheese, potato wedges, anything you need. Soroki's has it. To find a Soroki's near you, go to Sorokis.com. Shout out to our guy Vincent E for the gifted sub in the chat. Shout out to all of you for joining us. Make sure you smash that like button. It's Halloween. It's Little B's birthday. Nick's on the desk.
Let's go.
Easy stealing candy from little kids. We
sure.
got Chase. We got Chris. And we've been doing, in honor of Halloween, Nick's brainchild, we're doing a comparison of Lions players to villains because we are the villains, dubbed by Brad Holmes.
Exactly.
These could be any type of villains, TV show, movie, anybody you would dress as for Halloween. Nick, I believe we left off on you. So who is your next villain?
Okay, I have maybe the going straight to Halloween. Where Michael Myers is in the building.
He's the GOAT.
You think you buried him when his career was supposed to be over? No, he just comes back stronger, and he comes back for revenge, leading the best offense in the league. You will not see him break a sweat. You will not see him move faster than a soccer mom's walk. But he will not be stopped. He will cut you deep, and he will cut you precisely. Jared effing Goff
that's a good one.
is my Michael Myers. I love the fact you think you killed him, but you couldn't. You sent him to Detroit to die, but no, he is resurrected to lead the best offense in the NFL. Jared Goff is Michael Myers.
That is a really good one because Jared Goff deserved to be somebody elite, an elite villain, because he's playing at an elite level. And Jason is a pussy version of Michael Myers. Like, Jason gets his ass whooped by Busta Rhymes. So, like, give me Michael Myers any day of the week. That is a good one. All right, Chris, or throw out my next one, Chris.
Yeah, here we go. This is a duo.
This is a duo. Oh, yeah, this is a duo.
We got a duo?
It's a twofer. We got Jake Bates and Jack Fox as Cobra Kai Jim from The Karate Kid. You got the most dangerous legs in the NFL. Sweep the leg. You've got these guys that will go out there and they'll kill you with the kicks. Whether it be Jake Bates, whether it be Jack Fox, you're kicking it deep, you're kicking it accurately, they will kill you with the leg. Jake Bates and Jack Fox, Cobra Kai Jim, sweep the leg.
That's fire.
I love that one. I've never seen Cobra Kai, but I could imagine they got some massive leg kicks.
I've never seen the TV show. I just know it from the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they just extreme leg power right here.
Sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg.
You never seen Karate Kid?
Yeah, that's the Karate Kid.
I've not seen the OG. Shout out Jaden Smith.
That's a good one too.
Yeah,
But the OG, Ralph Macchio, come on, man.
That leg kick at the end.
Yeah.
Noriyuki Pat.
That was fire.
Yeah, I can't remember.
That's when Will Smith wasn't crazy.
That is true.
Okay, let's go with this one. This was the most terrifying movie when I was growing up, and it resides. It's a clown. He was scary as all hell. I used to have nightmares about this guy all the time. I shouldn't have watched it. I was way too young to, but Pennywise from It. He's absolutely terrifying. He hides where you cannot see him. He's elite at his job of being sneaky and elusive, like hiding in sewers, just like the player disguises in coverage. Is that an interception of the football or a red balloon being popped? Kirby Joseph is my Pennywise. He is the disguise guy in the back end, like Pennywise hiding in the sewer. Kirby Joseph, all he does is pick off interceptions. Quarterbacks can't see him. Is he hiding in the end zone in the All Blacks?
We never know.
We never know. Is Pennywise still in the sewer? Red balloon going up? Or is that a football going the other way? Kirby Joseph is the scariest guy in the back end, as in Pennywise was the scariest guy of my childhood watching those movies. The original, that was.
I like it. Scariest movie I watched was the original Exorcist, and I couldn't think of anybody to put it. David Witt in the Woodward Sports Chat, I was this close to doing that. I was this close to making Emmanuel Mosley Mr. Glass. But I didn't want to be that disrespectful.
Yeah, put yours in the chat. If you guys have any, put them in the chat. We'll read them out loud.
Do I have another one, Chris?
You have one more, and then I'll kind of throw some names.
Okay.
And we'll see where it goes.
All right, this is my last one. My final villain. I've got Frank Ragnow as Frankenstein.
It's Frankenstein's monster.
Frankenstein's monster. Yes, not Dr. Frankenstein. No, fuck that. It's Frank Ragnow as Frankenstein. You look at this, and it is perfect. The dude's got 3 toes. He's got half a peck. He's got a new meniscus from a cow halfway through the game. No, I'm just kidding. But he is pieced together brick by brick, and he's an OG. Frankenstein, OG monster, OG villain, one of the guys out there. We know it's Frankenstein's monster, Chase. Frankenstein, one of the OG villains out there. Frank Ragnow, one of the OG lions on this team. I think it fits perfectly. And they never stop. I don't know about his inclination to fire, whether he likes it or not. That could be a swaying point. But I got Frank as Frankenstein.
This was, I think, the most accurate one. You cannot keep this guy down.
Cannot keep him down.
He's got metal rods and
Pieced
God knows
apart,
what.
Pieced back together with twigs and glue, and he's still the best center in the NFL.
By far the best center, and we are honestly so goddamn lucky to have Frank Ragnow on this team.
Mm-hmm.
He's a gift that just keeps on giving. Frank, we hope you play forever. Chris, is there any of yours that stood out in this one, or any that you thought of while we were going through this?
Well, I was trying to think of the guys that weren't mentioned and see if we can just think it through and come together collectively on some names. Because I liked everything you guys did. I thought they were great. Even when you guys had different ones for the same person, you both made your cases very well. So this was fire. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, I know you guys had to think of him when you were coming up with these lists. What's a villain for Amon-Ra? Somebody, you gotta think about somebody that is reliable, that is always there, not the flashiest, but does what he needs to do and is integral.
What's the dude's name from X-Men who just like the fire guy?
I don't know his name, but that is a good one. The first thing I thought of was A-Train. Because, I mean, he's not the fastest guy, but A-Train's kind of a sociopath. And Amon-Ra St. Brown's kind of a sociopath, too. So it kind of fits.
What about Chucky? He just dressed up as Chucky.
Oh, that's true.
I was thinking of Chucky, but I'm like, how can he relate
small
to him?
Stabs, small cuts.
Yeah.
That's Amon-Ra's game.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
The Death by 1,000 cuts. Just Chucky's a good one. I like that. He just dressed up as Chucky. Got me feeling nicey. I would like that.
Who is the leader of all the villains? When you think about who is
Dracula,
Count Dracula,
Blackula.
Who are we comparing Brad Holmes to? I was trying to find a comparison. I was thinking Thanos because he is, he's the leader of all of those villains. Hades, Greek god Hades.
Yeah, he's like the leader of the underworld.
Yeah, he's the leader of the underworld. He's the leader of all the villains. He's
wait, what about Voldemort?
Voldemort, that's a good one too.
Voldemort.
He who shall not be named.
Yeah, it's got to be somebody that led an army.
Godzilla, David Whitson.
Led an army to total mass destruction because that's
Lord
what the
Vader.
Lions are doing.
Yeah, okay, that's it. Brad Holmes is Darth Vader.
I like that.
He is the chosen one.
Well, who's Palpatine then?
Palpatine would be Sheila Ford Ham.
Sheila.
Okay.
Yeah. Brad Holmes is Darth Vader. He is the chosen one. He brought balance to the Detroit Lions because now the offense and the defense are both firing on all cylinders. Like Anakin Skywalker, a.k.a. Darth Vader, brought balance to the Force. He just had to kill a bunch of kids to do it. Brad Holmes didn't do that. I mean, it's what happened. It was his prophecy.
He drafted a bunch of kids.
Yoda knew when he got this guy here. He's like, you're going to kill a bunch of children. But, it happened. He brought balance to the Force. Brad Holmes brought balance to the Detroit Lions.
Okay, last one that we gotta close with this. He's the star of Detroit. He's the guy who's going to get a statue for the Detroit Lions when they win a Super Bowl. Dan Campbell. We gotta come up with a good one.
I was thinking of John Cena's character in the newer John's. Oh, what's his name?
Bumblebee.
Peacemaker. He's a good guy.
No, he's not. He's a villain. He kills people.
I've never seen the
show.
show.
No, he's a villain. He's like a demi-hero.
Spoiler alert.
Or evil, whatever you call him.
He's a Taylor Swift. He's an anti-hero.
No, but he was in prison because he kills people.
I'm trying to think of one right now. I'm going to some of the top scary movies of all time. It's hard with Dan Campbell because
Ben Johnson, Loki.
What about
like that.
Wait, I got a good one.
What about Here Comes Johnny, or what is the guy from The Shining?
Jack Torrance?
Or what is the
Jack Torrance?
Johnny. What about Le Criff
I don't know
from Casino Royale? The villain in Casino Royale with the eye.
Oh my God!
Bardem?
Dan Campbell is the gambling man.
Oh, there it is. The Joker.
The Joker.
Oh, I thought of that.
That's a good one.
Did you, Chris?
I did actually. I thought of him for Amon-Ra and for Dan Campbell. I don't know.
However you pronounce his
but
name.
I like this one. Andrew Jones said Ben Johnson is Loki, the trickster god.
That's a good one. That's
a
good
like
one.
He could be the Riddler.
The Riddler?
I like the Riddler for him.
Yeah. Piecing a lot of different things together.
Who's the Penguin? Shout out the Penguin going on HBO right now. Great
Mike
show.
Disner, dude. Money guy.
Mike Disner.
Money guy. Makes it work. He's a glue guy. Oh, man. MCDC is Dr. Doom.
Somebody said Bane for Dan Campbell.
Oh.
Lashif, it's pronounced, Spenny. Sorry, Brad Holmes.
He's a great villain.
Yeah.
Lashif is?
Yeah. And he's a gambler.
True.
You know?
Okay, yeah, I do like that part of it.
MCDC is Jaws. He just keeps coming back. That's a good one.
The shark.
Like Jaws the shark, or are you guys familiar with James Bond? There's the villain
Yeah.
Jaws.
Yeah.
He's actually the same actor plays the construction boss from Happy Gilmore.
I think he's talking about the shark Jaws, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe not, though, because we were talking about
Casino Royale.
Casino Royale, yeah. So
I mean, he does have that famous speech, though, about bringing them to the water and drowning them.
that is true.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Dan Campbell would say something like, I'd fight a shark to win a Super Bowl or something like that.
I do like Thanos' quotes, though. Or not Thanos, Bane's quotes in that movie, Dark Knight.
Bane is a good one. He beats the shit out of Batman, dude.
You inherited the dark. I was simply born in it. Or whatever it was.
I was born by the darkness.
Yeah. I feel like Dan Campbell's post-game locker room quotes, I feel like really go with some of those Bane quotes.
I also like Brad Holmes as Thanos because when I just think of the one quote when he's sitting there on the knee and Tony Stark and they all walk up to him and he's like, look at where your failures brought you. Back to me. That's like Brad Holmes looking at these guys that get cut from other teams. He's like make a meme of that with Brad Holmes when the Lions re-sign Josh Reynolds next year. It's like, look at where your failures have brought you. Back to me.
Got cut, got injured. Come on.
Yeah.
Back to me.
Could be.
Yeah, there it is. The villain Detroit Lions comparisons. Happy Halloween, folks.
MCDC is the literal shark from Jaws. I'm good with that. I'm good with MCDC being Jaws. That was fun, though. Good job, Nick. Great idea with that one.
Shout out.
We got to go to break. We're going to come back, and we are going to talk Pistons. First, let me tell you about Caesar Sportsbook. What about Caesar Sportsbook? Gritty stones are hot. They're hot. You got to
put a thou wow on
Put a thou wow on them. You can get up to $1,000 back if your first bet doesn't hit. All you got to do is scan that QR code right there and use code word Woodward 1000. First bet back anywhere from $25 to $1,000 using code word Woodward 1000. Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Magneto's definitely not. What's wrong with hating fascism?
Into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
You and I pay our bills. Unlike my opponent, Dave Coulter, I won't take advantage of my job because I work for you. I'm Nick Jonai, and by the way, I do pay my water bills on time, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Nick Jonai for Oakland County.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Taller long drink. It is delicious. It is a gin-based cocktail made with real grapefruit puree. Get a Taller long drink anywhere you can. They're so good. They're delicious. Get yourself a Taller long drink from New Holland Brewing Company. What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Smash that like button for Nick Kohloff.
Let's go.
Tailgate wins. Follow him for Chase Amley. Chase, what's your Twitter?
That's just my name.
Chase Amley. Follow him for Chris, the real Chris Platty.
Platty Pods.
Platty Pods.
Platty Pods.
Platty Pods. Follow him. I am Spencer or Spenmo-Rax. Shoot us all a follow. Appreciate you. Make sure you're following, subscribed, and liking Woodward Sports and all of the wonderful videos coming out today and days in the future. We just got done with a great segment talking about villains. Speaking of villains, Young Thug is officially coming home today, says Detroit Supremacy.
Hey, yo.
If that's true, I'm here for it. Free Thug.
Yeah, there's some. I'm trying to look into that. I seen conflicting reports on that, but it's very possible that he is coming home.
Go listen to Pick Up the Phone and tell me the guy that wrote that hook deserves to be in jail. Like, who cares if he organized a couple murders?
Dedicated a song title to Harambe.
Yeah, like Young Thug, Free Thug. I'm YSL for sure.
Free.
Yeah.
I went to that. I went to a concert when after that album came out. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, dude, Thug's the man.
One of the most talented artists.
Speaking of which, I don't know how I'm going to tie this in.
Yeah.
The Pistons were a thug on the court last night when they beat the brakes
What do you mean by
off the 76ers. Yeah, that is.
Yeah, no transition.
Just Fontecchio was a thug on the court last night as they beat the 76ers. Chris, the first win, your Pistons get their first win. Jaden Ivey shines. Cade Cunningham does Cade Cunningham things. Tobias Harris came alive in the fourth quarter and in the second half there. How'd you feel about that win?
Look, I came away from that game saying, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but if you had not even just like a major upgrade, but a Kyle Kuzma, and I know he's hurt right now, in place of Tobias, this team is 3-2 or 4-1. Like, I think they've been competitive in all of these games. And this game, they did what they needed to do. They took control of the game, and yeah, they had a moment where Philly had a run in the fourth, but ultimately they held serve, and they did what good teams do, and that's put a team away. So I like what you're seeing. You're seeing Cade and Ivy play as arguably statistically the best backcourt in the NBA right now in this small sample size. They're averaging 46 points together. They're leading the NBA in points per game. Both of them are points per game, top 5 in the paint. Like, this is a unit that's getting it done, a backcourt that is thriving together. And you have other talented pieces around. It's just I'm looking at two guys right now. I'm looking at Tobias Harris and I'm looking at Jalen Duren because there's no reason that at 1.2 the blocks per game leader is Cade Cunningham. That should be unacceptable if you are Jalen Duren to have that. It should be unacceptable for you to have 8 points and 9 rebounds per game when you are a player of Jalen Duren's physical stature. I think he is struggling mightily. I'm not ready to write him off, but that's somebody that we'll look at a little later. But overall, I love this team. I think this team is playing well. I think they're coming together. I think you're seeing a good coaching staff do what good coaching staffs do and construct game plans, make adjustments. Yeah. Like this team.
Actually seeing him getting coached up is great. Nick, a young Pistons team thugged out a victory in Philadelphia. How are you feeling about that?
Go.
All right, well, let's not double down on
Let's thug it out.
All right, young thuggin'. All right. One thing that stands out to me, and I think a big reason why they won this game last night was Jaden Ivey. I saw him take over this game. Yes, he had a couple highlight dunks, which are obviously great for the highlights. SportsCenter top 10. No. The big thing to me was he's averaging 5 free throws a game right now. Even when this offense is extremely stale and they cannot buy a bucket, to me, it's Jaden Ivey getting to the rack and knocking down his free throws that has been so big. And when Cade Cunningham is driving and they leak off of Jaden Ivey in that corner, he's knocking down his threes now at a 43% clip to start the season. That is what we talked about when we talked about Jaden Ivey and can he fit next to Cade Cunningham. If he's going to shoot 43% from 3, which I don't think he's going to, maybe around 39-40%, that's still great for me. He can fit right in next side or alongside Cade Cunningham, and you're speaking of all-stars over the next, 5-6 years. Can you put the right pieces around that? I'm not sure, but Jaden Ivey to me is really coming into his own and becoming a borderline all-star.
We saw, Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan do the backcourt all-stars for a lot of years together in Toronto, so why can't the Pistons do it? I got another villain comparison for you guys real fast. Just thought of it. This is a great one. We got Monty Williams and Osama bin Laden because he was a terrorist with what he was doing with this Detroit backcourt last year. Seeing what Jaden Ivey has been this year, seeing Jaden Ivey flourish in this system, and I know I saw that Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey have played 20% more so far this year than they did last year. Last year, they played like 70% of the game. So that was 30% of the game. Jaden Ivey nor Cade Cunningham were on the court. Now it's at like 98% because these are your two biggest playmakers. You need these guys on the court, at least one of them at all times. We're seeing Jaden Ivey go out there and make shots, which is huge. Shout out to Fred Vincent. We talked about how he is going to be one of the most important players or coaches brought in this year. Looks like he's doing the job with Jaden Ivey. Not like Jaden Ivey had a terrible shooting percent. I think he was like 32% last year. But what he's shooting right now is insane. He looks confident. He looks comfortable. He's making his jumpers. He knows this coach and this team has his back. They're not going to put him on the bench if he has a bad game. This guy, Monty Williams, was terrorizing the Detroit Pistons last year. It was awful. And now we're seeing them flourish playing on the court together. Chase, how you feel about the Pistons' first win?
I'm stoked for the Pistons' first win. You know, they've been playing well as a team, and although we've been close, they finally cashed it home. And looking at, you know, an easier stretch coming up in the schedule, too. I know Neil highlighted that the Celtics and the Cavs, who are two previous opponents, are 9-1 on the season so far. So we haven't been playing bad, and we haven't been playing scrubs either. You know, we're hoping to maybe be like a 10th, you know, or 11th team in the Eastern Conference. So, you know, just keep fighting hard, keep focusing on, like, getting better as a team. And, you know, not committing, you know, those mental mistakes and putting yourself in holes to lose the game.
Yeah, and like the Cavs and the and the Celtics, I believe, are the top two teams in the East right now. Mm-hmm. So you lost to two teams that have beaten everybody so far, and they were close. You should have won that Boston game. You obviously should have won the Pacers game. But now we're seeing a little bit of this team come together and what they're supposed to be. I saw someone ask for apologies for Tobias Harris in the chat. Tobias Harris will get no apologies for having one good half. Honestly, one good quarter of basketball so far this year. He needs to continue to do that. I would rather him play like he did last night every week. Like every game. Be cold in the first half. Don't do anything in the first half if you're going to come alive in the second half, because that's when we need you the most. That's when winning basketball is played, and they need someone to step up and hit shots. He hit shots. Tim Hardaway Jr. hit some big shots. Malik Beasley hit some shots in the first half. It was a good game by these Pistons, and I saw someone in the chat say, You'll beat the Sixers without Embiid and PG, so what? So what? These are games that this team was getting blown out in last year. These are games that you need to win. It was a must-win game because of those reasons. They went out there and they took care of business.
I cannot deal with Tobias Harris settling for these long twos, deep threes. You can't shoot, buddy. Get it through your brain. I love you. Cut to the basket. I really enjoyed watching Tobias his first time in a Pistons uniform.
Yeah.
He was slashing, and yeah, maybe he could hit those threes back in the day. I don't know what the hell is going on. He missed so many open threes yesterday and open jumpers. Like, Tobias, he was getting into it a little bit in the mid-range, which I like to see, but he missed a wide-open one at the end of the game at the free throw line. He missed one when he was, point blank. He got blocked at the rim. But no, Tobias Harris, it really is the key to this team, because you see what Ivy and Cade are doing when it comes to offensive production. You need that third guy. Beasley and Hardaway, like you mentioned, are going to be able to shoot and spread the floor. Tobias needs to be that third guy that you brought him in here to be. Right now, he's not cutting it. Last night, we got lucky. They almost were coming back in that fourth quarter. We shut the door on it, luckily. But the amount of times I saw Tobias Harris miss wide open threes, that's going to bite you in more games than it's not. This guy has to knock down open shots. Chris, real quick, Chris, sorry, before we get to you,
Xavier D in the Woodward Sports chat says Tobias Harris 14 rebounds is pretty sweet. That's for sure. That definitely helped out.
He was going up strong.
And then Cartier says at least his effort is there. That is true too. It's not like he's out there going through the motions. Yeah. He's trying to play well.
Yeah, and that's what I want to get to. Is I don't want to completely kill him. And I know you're not either. I see you
missing open threes.
Yeah, I know. I seen him spaz. But no, I like Tobias Harris, and I think that the shooting is definitely possibly a slump, and maybe not, because you are seeing him move pretty well defensively. You are seeing him get on the glass. Those are signs of a player that's older. If they do, slip and they're cooked, you don't see the good rebounding. You don't see some defensive plays here and there. So I do have a little bit of hope that Tobias can turn this around, and this is just a shooting slump in what is a small sample size in an 82-game regular season. So I do want to give him that grace. But I went back to my earlier point of, again, if you just have an upgraded version of what Tobias has been at the 4, this team is winning at least 2 more of those games. And you're looking at a team that's, right up there in the East playoff standings in this, again, small sample size.
And we're going to talk about kind of a lower point of last night's victory and something that I was not happy to see and has been probably the worst part of the Pistons season so far this year.
I can't wait. I don't know if this is what I have one to bring up, too, that I might not be mentioned yet, that I want everybody's take on.
Nick's ready to make a stand on Asar Thompson. No, I'm just kidding.
It's somebody that you're not allowed to make a stand on.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah.
I got some issues.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
And I agree.
If you watch the games, I think everybody knows what is going on.
I agree 100%. But let's go to break real fast. We'll come back. We got another Pistons topic. Tell us about Mark White.
Mark White gonna do you right.
Hey.
Dreaming. It's fun to say, honestly. Dreaming of a new home, but feeling a financial pinch? Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000.
$5,000.
Call Mark White and Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
And let me tell you about the watch party and the postgame show presented by Woodward Sports. We're doing it every week. Come out and join us. I wasn't there last week. I wanted to watch a game with my dad. I'll be there for Green Bay. The 1,800 girls will be there too. All of it live at Hayes Social, presented by New Holland Brewing, Sabbath Coffee Roasters, Soroki Crispy Chicken, and 1,800 Tequila. Come out and join us for the watch party and the postgame show live at Hayes Social.
The countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service to customers who come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today and find the brands you want at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford, together. Let's ride. Welcome back, everyone. Make sure you smash that like button. Nick on the desk.
Let's go.
Easy celebrating with young Bryson today for his birthday. Happy birthday, Bryson.
Happy birthday, happy Halloween.
We got Chase in the booth. We got Chris in the booth. I am Spencer Raxter. It's been a great show. Make sure you rewind. We talked Lions. We talked Red Wings. We talked Michigan. We talked some Tigers. So make sure you smash that like button. And you can always rewind and get to what you want to. But now we're talking Pistons. We talked about the win, which was great. Like we said, not this momentous thing because it was Philadelphia without Joel Embiid and without Paul George, but they lost those games last year.
Oh, yeah.
This is a game you needed to win. You had to win. They went out there and won.
Last year, players or teams rested their stars against this Piston team because they knew they could still beat them without them.
Yes.
So to see us win without Paul George, without Joel Embiid, I am never going to apologize for that because they didn't do it last year.
Yeah.
They should have won at least one of those first 4 games where we started 0 for 4. So to get one in Philly, which is still a very hard place to play. I mean, ask Tobias. He was getting booed every time he touched the ball.
That was crazy.
But yeah, I didn't know that.
Philly fans are the worst, man.
So much hate for this guy. But yeah, it was good to pick up a win. I'm never going to apologize for it. But a couple things stood out, and I know you want to get to some defensive things that stood out.
Some defensive things and just some letdowns, and it's the big one. It's the big guy. It's Jalen Duren. He fouled out last night with 0 points and just ticky-tack fouls. Nothing really that he's getting like abused on, but just ugly, bad mind lapse fouls. And this is something that can't happen. You were supposed to take a step forward. This was supposed to be a simple year for Jalen Duren.
Yep.
Focus on rebounding, catching lobs, and blocking shots. He has not been good at all to start this year. I saw a stat, Fox Sports, FanDuel Sports Network put up a stat last night during the game, and it was the defensive efficiency of the Pistons. When Jalen Duren, or when Isaiah Stewart's on the floor, it's at 100. When Isaiah Stewart's off the floor, it's at 122. So they are 22 points better with Isaiah Stewart on the floor than with Jalen Duren on the floor. And that just cannot happen. We heard a source inside of the Detroit Pistons told me that JB Bickerstaff's going to be patient with him because he respects that he's a young guy, he's 20 years old. This is his third system, his third coach that he's trying to do it with. So he's not going to rush into things. But at some point, I'm not asking him to be Joel Embiid. I'm not asking him to be one of these superstar centers in the league. Just block some shots. He's long enough. He's athletic enough. I don't know what it is that makes him such a poor defensive player, but Isaiah Stewart has been outplaying him at that center spot, and it's not even close. And that's why I saw someone in the Woodward Sports chat, Alan W. says Duren simply cannot guard on the perimeter, and he's going up against Karl Anthony Towns tomorrow. He's going to splash 10 threes on his head. I am taking every single over for Isaiah Stewart tomorrow. Isaiah Stewart tomorrow is going to see a lot of time guarding Karl Anthony Towns. I'm taking his over rebounds. I'm taking his over points. I'm taking it over blocks. Isaiah Stewart is going to play a lot tomorrow.
I love the upside of Jalen Duren, but yeah, that was the big question mark this year is how is he going to respond on defense? In college, he was able to block 2.1 shots a game at Memphis. Obviously, it's a lower level, but he has something in there that he has not been able to tap into in his NBA career.
Yeah.
If you want to be a quality starter and maybe a borderline all-star type player within the NBA and help this Pistons franchise actually get back to where you're respected and get back to the playoffs, you need to buy in on the defensive end of the court.
100%.
Jalen Duren, not acceptable right now. But I don't think Stu's the answer either. I'm just going to flat out say that. I think you could put anybody else in there. Also, I think the numbers might be a little skewed because Stewart's going up against some of the backups and maybe not the starters. But when it comes down to it, Jalen Duren, there's no excuse. You need to get better. You are an athletic freak. You have crazy measurables. You can jump out of the gym with anybody. We see it on the offensive end. It's about time we see it on the defensive end. How does he make that change, Chris?
So a lot of it is willpower. A lot of defense is willpower and just knowledge/instincts. And I don't want to question somebody's work ethic from afar when I can't see them every day. I don't like doing that. But it's got to be partly that, and it's also got to be partly just feel for the game, which is funny because I talk about this with my friend Josh all the time, is that coming out of college, he was projected to be a defensive player. That was projected to be his special skill. But I think now what we're realizing is he just had amazing athletic traits that you guys have highlighted, and that allowed him to skate by defensively or to look more promising than what he's been. It's very easy to look at Jalen Duren and see Piston lineage of Ben Wallace or other comps around the NBA of Dwight Howard. Like, it's very easy to make those comps just because of his elite athleticism. But ultimately, I'm seeing this guy get blown by on the perimeter, like the chat said. I'm seeing him also just not have effort to jump for blocks on help side rotations. He's just standing there, and then when he does jump, then he does take himself out of position to rebound. He just doesn't have that rim protection feel that somebody of Jalen Duren's size and stature you think would be so easy. But the physical side is there. I just think he's got to work through the mental side. And some players can't ever do that. So he's got to do it, though. It's got to be the mental side because you're right, Nick. Isaiah Stewart is not a starting caliber center. He is playing good backup 5 minutes right now, but the problem is he's playing like a starter. One of him and Jalen Duren has to be a starter.
Yeah.
And Isaiah Stewart, I think we've seen his ceiling, and it is not a starter caliber player. So that means it's got to fall on Jalen Duren.
I agree. I mean, I don't think anybody here would say that Jalen Duren's not going to be a starter in the future, but that's what it is, Chris. It's all mental when you look at the defensive lapses for Jalen Duren. He's got the physicality, he's got the youth, he's got the lateral quickness, he has the athleticism to be a plus defender in the NBA. Like, again, I don't need you to be, Hakeem Olajuwon. I don't need you to be Dikembe Mutombo or Ben Wallace, but just block a shot. Like, one shot a game. That's all I'm asking for. Like, it's not crazy when you're 7 foot with an insane wingspan and freak athleticism. It's all mental. His rotations are sloppy and slow. He's not getting that help side defense like he should. It seems like he's worried to leave guys to go help and try to block a shot. I don't know, man. It's something's not clicking yet. If it does, look out. But right now, it's not.
Yeah, it's a big question mark, and a thing that's been a big question mark throughout this player's career is his ability to not turn the ball over.
Yeah.
And this player is averaging 25.5 points, 7.5 assists, 5.5 rebounds, en route to his first All-Star appearance. That man's name is Cade Cunningham, averaging 5.6 turnovers a game right now, and it's costing his team in the most crucial times. You think about how he started 0 for 4. It's about collapsing down the stretch in the fourth quarter. He looks tired.
Yeah.
He looks careless. He looks slow with the ball, and it looks like he's not gearing up with his passes the way he needs to in the fourth quarter specifically. I've seen a lot of careless turnovers from Cade Cunningham throughout his career, but the year where he needs to be not just the best player on this team, but the best player on the court in games, and especially in the fourth quarter, he's not doing that right now. What is the biggest issue, do you think, why Cade Cunningham is turning the ball over so much, especially late in games?
I do think it is fatigue. I honestly do, because the zip isn't there on the passes, and you see the breakdown of when a lot of his turnovers happen, and a lot of them are in the fourth quarter. A lot of them are in the end of games after he's already logged a lot of minutes. And, I'm not going to poo-poo a guy for what he's doing when he's doing everything that Cade is. Like, he's your best assist maker, he's your best scorer, he's your best defender. Like, he's playing out of his mind right now, but he needs to clean up the turnovers. That's 100%. I think that means more if you're going with the closing group of Ivy, give Ivy the ball more in his hands in the fourth quarter to take some of the load off Cade Cunningham, because it does seem like just fatigue from him. It does seem like he's just making sloppy passes because he's a little worn out. Chris?
Yeah, and I am not going to be trying to defend Cade by any metric here, but if you just look at the top 5 players leading the league in turnovers right now, Cade Cunningham is 4th, but 1 is James Harden, 2 is Trae Young, 3 is LaMelo Ball, 4 is Cade, and then tied for 5th is Giannis and Ja. So part of it is just being the high usage player that Cade Cunningham is. He's put in that group with all those other stars, and that's going to be part of it. But you do got to knock it down from 5.6 to Giannis is at 4.3. If you can knock it down to under 4, that's a big win. I think it's kind of a little bit impossible with how much Cade Cunningham handles the ball to not expect 3 turnovers per game. I just think I do think he can clean some things up. There are some sloppy passes. It is fatigue. It is getting familiar with newer teammates, with a new coaching staff, a new system. I do think those are all factors, and I do think it will cut down. But I also think we can't jump on him for that number, because a lot of the greatest players in the league are high usage players, and those high usage players often have high turnover rates.
So the thing that I would say to that, Chris, is I believe it's costing his team games, though. Wins, crucial wins in the fourth quarter when this team needs to learn how to win. I believe it is a fatigue thing as well. Like you said, Spencer, I think the fix is to get the ball in Ivy's hands. He is clearly taking a step forward this season where I trust Jaden Ivey in some of those spots. Yeah, he does look a little bit reckless still when he tries to break down the defense. He gets up in the air.
Yeah.
But I do believe you can count on him to get to the basket and draw a foul, and it'll open things up for the 40% three-point shooter in Cade Cunningham if he's able to play off the ball a little bit more and be more selective on when he is handling the ball and making all these decisions compared to being asked to do it every single time down the court.
Or give Ivy the third quarter. If you want Cade to be the closer, if you want Cade with the ball in his hands because he's going to make the best decision, you think?
Yep.
Give Ivy the third quarter so Cade can sit back a little bit, not be as tired. Yeah. Let Ivy go off in the third, and then let Cade go off in the fourth. We'll see. There's still still brand new coach, still trying to figure out who to play when. These are a lot of things that can be figured out. He's figuring out what works with where, and we'll see what happens. But we do got to go to break. Mailbag coming up next. Tell us about merch, Chris.
Are you tired of that same old Detroit sports?
Merch?
Head on over to woodwardsports.com. Click that shop tab today. Get yourself some fly new Detroit sports merch. Hoodies, tees, hats, all that guaranteed to turn heads. So head on over to woodwardsports.com. Click that shop tab today. Get yourself some fly, brand new merch.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards. We offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
Cash. Straight keys.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweight. Smash the like button. Nick, great job on the desk.
Let's go. Thank you, sir. Great to be up here on with you for the first time.
Yeah, very, very good job. It was great sharing the desk with you for the first time.
Shout out.
Send mailbag questions, you jabronis. For Nick, we got Chase filling in. Shout out Chase for filling in for Nick.
Shout out.
We got Chris over there. Nothing special. And I'm Spencer.
Oh, that hurt.
Welcome back. Smash that like button. We got a couple minutes here.
Real quick, if you don't have one yet.
Thursday Night
Wanted
Football?
to ask you guys, I mean, I'm down for that too, but I wanted to ask you guys, have your expectations changed for this Piston team throughout the first 5 games?
Nope. No, I needed them to win last night, though, to reaffirm where I'm at with them.
Yeah,
because they were competitive, but if you're just going to keep being competitive and lose games, then I do think that 30 wins was kind of, for me, off the table or a little bit unlikely. They needed to get this win to show me that, okay, they are going to win some of these games that they're
going to win the games they're supposed to. They're going to win the games where guys are resting. They're going to win games against the Wizards. So I doubt we see the Wizards blow us out this year. Yeah, the Hawks trash. The Raptors trash. Like these are teams that you should beat for sure. Alan W. Mail Sack. What will the Lions record be when the season's done? I only see 2 or 3 losses left on the schedule. Ooh. I think the Detroit Lions will be 14-3 this year.
I like it.
I
like it. Texans just got a lot weaker.
They did.
And I picked that as a loss,
Collins
I think.
will be coming back. But
I'll be out in Houston. I'm not
probably
leaving.
Not
I'm not leaving with an L.
Yeah,
I'm not leaving with an L.
That's hype, dude.
I'm
Are
fired
you
up.
going to
invite the
bet
boys.
on Houston that game, Nick?
What up?
Are you going to bet on Houston in that game?
Chase sneaking in a shot with 3 minutes to go. I like it. Chase always picking fights.
Well,
no,
I was
will
just
not
asking
be.
a question.
No, I will not be. Packers, different story. No, I'm kidding. You'll have to fill in tomorrow. See you tomorrow. No, I will not be picking Houston.
Mailbag from Paul Thomas. If you
we had our best player out. Let's just be honest.
It's true, but you still
we were underdogs.
You locked them though, which is crazy.
And I happily wore the hot dog suit for 2 days.
Mailbag. If you had to pick one loss in the next 2 games, would it be Green Bay or Houston? Probably Houston.
Yeah, it's not in.
You don't want to lose in the division.
You can't lose in division. Yeah.
Oh, if you're guessing,
I thought it was guessing. Yeah, if I had to handpick, it would easily be Houston.
Easily be Houston if you're handpicking, yeah.
If I'm guessing, I think it would still be Houston. I don't, like, I just feel like we're going to thrash. I know I say this every week, but like,
thrash them by 30.
Not thrash them by 30, but we're just going
13.
to run the fucking ball up and down the field, man. They're not going to be able to stop it. Nobody will, but I really think, especially if it's raining, dude, David Montgomery, I haven't even, or his numbers aren't even out. Books haven't even released them yet.
I don't think they're that great of a defense.
They're really, their passing defense is good, and their pass rush is good, but stopping the run, not their specialty.
I think when you play a team as often as you do in division, I think that game's harder. So I would say that Packer game would probably be one I could see them losing over the Houston game, where they don't see them twice a year. They don't know how to defend Ben Johnson's offense.
That's fair. Real quick before we leave, mailbag from David Witt. Mailbag, is it weird being a position where the Lions can lose a game and maybe no one freaks the fuck out?
Everyone will always freak out.
Everyone will. You know he's going to freak out. We got to change it now. We got to do it. Blah, blah, blah. But no, I agree. If they dropped one, I'd be like, okay, it's all right. We're still in first place. Like I wouldn't be too worried about it.
I think to me it depends on how they lose the game. Tampa, you can't throw the ball 50 times.
Yeah.
And that's why I called for Arizona being the biggest game of the year, because it made this we are ascending to the best team in the NFL. And we went on a 5-game win streak after? 5 straight, looking for 6 in Lambeau Field. Happy Halloween, folks. Let's go.
That'll do it for us today. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Shout out to Nick, filling in, doing a great job for Easy.
Shout out.
Again,
Shout out Easy.
Happy birthday, little Bryson, and happy Halloween to all of you. For Chase, for Nick, for Chris, I'm Spencer. We're the Heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.